sidelined when it comes to understanding South Korea at an important meeting, conference or discussion? You won't be if you become a member of Korea Pro, your one-stop solution to staying updated with the latest in South Korea's politics, society, economy and foreign relations. Picture this, every morning you wake up to a newsletter that gives you a full aggregation of all the top news and analysis. It's handcrafted by the producers of NK Pro and NK News, so you can trust it to save you time and keep you ahead of the news cycle. In addition, the Korea Pro Week Ahead newsletter flags upcoming conferences, events, and major diplomatic and business developments. And of course, there's in-depth specialist analysis to keep you informed on the top issues of the day, which you won't find anywhere else. Korea Pro is produced by a wide range of specialists, including in-house analysts and external contributors. There are no ads or sponsored articles on Korea Pro. Unlike some of its South Korean competitors, Korea Pro provides hard-hitting and objective analysis without hidden agendas. For my listeners, and welcome to the NK News Podcast. This is the first episode for 2024 and I'm your host, Jacko Zwetsloop. This episode was recorded on the morning of Tuesday, the 2nd of January, and I'm joined here in the studio by Jong-Min Kim and Shreyas Reddy. Welcome on the show. Happy New Year.
새해 복 많이 받으세요.
새해 복 많이 받으세요, indeed. So we have lots to talk about that's happened in the last week from North Korea, but especially a big message from Kim Jong-un. So last week they had some kind of a meeting in North Korea. What sort of meeting was it, Shreyas?
Well, it was North Korea's now traditional end-of-year party plenum. So the Central Committee and basically senior officials from North Korea's ruling party meet multiple days to hash out everything, to review the year that's gone by, but more importantly to set the agenda for the coming year. And it's not something that has happened forever, but the last few years it has become a bit of a tradition in North Korea. Before that, the leader used to give a New Year's Day speech.
Right.
Now it has effectively been replaced by this end-of-year plenum where they decide everything, and again, that's where the leader sets out the agenda for what is to come. And so that was basically the focus of what happened.
And this year's plenum, or last year's plenum, the most recent plenum was 5 days, wasn't it? It was quite long.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be honest, I think we've also had 6-day plenums, we've had longer plenums. Mm-hmm. So what we were kind of expecting initially when this plenum started was, I believe it started on 26th December. So we thought it would follow the usual pattern of perhaps stretching until the last day of the year, and then New Year's Day we would get these extremely long and detailed reports setting out the agenda for everything. Effectively, that substitute for the old New Year's speech.
Right.
But much to our surprise, the plenum ended a day early. So it ended on 30th, and then on 31st morning, suddenly North Korean media started reporting on the events of the plenum, and yeah.
Okay, so what were the events of the plenum? They reviewed the last year. What was the good news?
I mean, so there was, on the whole, perhaps a more upbeat tone of the plenum compared to previous years. For example, last year, Kim Jong-un talked about the arduous struggles North Korea had gone through, North Koreans were going through, and that was obviously after multiple years of border closure due to pandemic, natural disasters galore, food shortages, economic problems, obviously COVID itself. But this year, there was a much more upbeat tone right from the start. The very first day, he hailed 2023 as a year of great transformation. And that was kind of what started filtering through over the course of the plenum. They were highlighting their successes in military development, their satellite launches, ICBMs. They were talking about uniform progress across the board economically, like obviously unusually positive news economically, but they were saying it has effectively increased, the GDP has increased 1.4 times compared to 2020 baseline, which is a significant figure because you're not comparing it to a period when the pandemic, when they were struggling. You're comparing it to the last decent year North Korea would have had.
Yeah, a 40% increase in growth in the economy over 3 years, that's quite something.
Yeah.
How realistic is that?
To be honest, you'd have to say that, I think, well, first thing one has to clarify, North Korea has not given absolute numbers in several years. So what are you baselining against? We don't really know. You can say that North Korea does appear to have had a relatively good year economically. Food production was on the rise.